He walks along certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats. He's pretty sure he's heard this one before. His hands are stuffed deep in his pockets that are filled with wadded tissues and copper pennies. He's unsure of where he's headed, but he knows that it's away from the people he's met, the places he's slept, and the places he's wept. His walk was brisk, like the tea that he didn't very much like, but he didn't very much tell anyone that. And he continued his brisk walk, not tea, down a small street. Unsure of where to go, he passes by women who talk of Michelangelo, and through thick yellow smog that covers the city, he spotted a bum to whom he threw copper pity that jingled and jangled from deep in his coat like the small silver bells on the neck of a goat, or maybe like chains at the feet of a prisoner who sat in his cell, damning the commissioner who placed him in here's thick cement hell, until finally one day he's released from his cell, but his house was foreclosed and his family they left, and he would not return to his once life of theft. So he bought a big coat, and he did then retreat to his small, cold, and terrible life on the street, where in thick yellow smog that covers the city he sits and he waits for his copper pity. And our hero, or was it even safe to call him that, continued along, his hands still stuffed deep inside of his pocket. And as he cut his way through that thick yellow smoke, he thinks to himself of mermaids swimming in the sea, singing their sweet songs to sailors like sirens, waking them from their dreams. And he often wonders what it would be like to swim in the sea, although if he were ever to do so, he'd be a crab or a crawfish. He was not superior enough for the life of mermaids. And along his journey, he avoided conversation, for he knew neither how to presume nor resume, and the people to whom he spoke only spoke of themselves. He had nothing to talk of. He'd much rather drown after waking and hearing the mermaid's sweet songs at the bottom of sea floors where he scuttled along. And he often wrote poems of his seaward adventures as he scuttled along, devoid of all pleasure. But his poems, they were bad, and his mind much too delicate. He would never amount to his one hero, Eliot. And yes, he knew proof rock before he was famous, but he knew only his words, and it seemed very dangerous to cut and to copy. The words seemed unreal. The good artists borrow, the great ones they steal. And if what Pablo Picasso said was all true, should he cut off his ear like Van Gogh and unscrew all the things that he's done in the life that he's made? Although this here life was now circling the drain. So he ran from the people and places he knew. He ran from the judgment and hid from the truth. He hid from it all in his thick cement hell, listening to those chains that rattled like bells, or the jingling and coax of the small copper pities given to those that sleep with the cities. And he thought to himself, well, how long should it take to scuttle away? I'm too afraid to wake. Thank you.